Welcome to Age Proof Your Riding with the Sweaty Equestrian. Personal trainer and endurance rider Tamara Basinger is here to help you ride stronger in a day and longer in your life.
Hey Ryder, welcome to the podcast. I am listening to the rain on my skylights here in Southwest Idaho, and I am so glad that I've spent the weekend outside because it looks like this week won't be quite as lovely. I was out there starting the conditioning process with a couple of brand new horses, and I'm kind of in a state of endurance rider whiplash right now because I've spent the past couple years riding a more advanced horse, like doing solid 100-milers and fast 50s, and now I'm doing something totally different. So one of these brand new horses is a 5-year-old who is brand new to me, not just to the sport. The other is a mare who is, I think, 9. She's an Arab that I started under saddle when she was 6 and hadn't been handled very much. So I've done a lot of fun arena work with her, some of the fancier stuff that I don't normally do with my endurance horses. But now I have decided to try her out on the distance trail. So Bella and I did a long solo ride up a big hill and around some single track in the high desert on Sunday. And she really actually surprised me with her enthusiasm in a good way. So I'm feeling good about it. We will see where this takes us. Anyway, while I was out there, I was thinking a lot about the horsewomen who have joined the upcoming Leaner, Stronger Rider Challenge. Most of them, like me, are over 40, but still wanting to be fit, athletic riders. I mean, don't we all want that? So I was pondering what rider fitness looks like as we get into the second half of life. I think we all sense intuitively that something is changing, but what exactly is going on here? And more to the point, do we need to come at our rider fitness differently than we did when we were younger? So today I want to talk about what's happening physiologically as we go into those years of perimenopause and on into menopause. And then we'll get into what that means for rider fitness after 40. So first off, hormones. No surprise there, right? The most dramatic change that happens is to do with our production of estrogen. It goes on the fritz and eventually shuts down just about entirely. This is especially true of the primary form of estrogen that helps us stay effortlessly lean and strong in our younger years. You've probably heard of it. It's called estradiol or E2. Estradiol, when we have it, supports muscle protein synthesis, which is basically the building of muscle tissue. As estradiol declines, our muscles become less responsive to the same training. And that's why we used to stay lean and strong just by doing our regular barn chores and riding. But now we're losing ground, even though we're still doing those same barn chores and we are still riding. Another thing estradiol does is support insulin sensitivity. So basically keeping our blood sugar under control without needing the pancreas to pump out too much of the hormone insulin. But when estradiol leaves the building, our cells become resistant to insulin, which means we have to produce more of it to keep our blood sugar under control, even if we're eating the same foods we always did. Unfortunately, having a lot of insulin around increases our propensity for storing body fat, and it makes the fat that we already have harder to access, to release, and use for energy. So what else does estradiol do when we have it? Well, it blunts the body's stress response by dampening the release of yet another hormone, cortisol. Less estradiol means more cortisol, which makes recovery from both physical and mental stressors more challenging. Often this is occurring at a time of life when we're extra stressed to begin with. We're at the height of our careers, maybe dealing with teenage kids or aging parents or both. So having cortisol running amok is unhelpful. Worse yet, our cortisol receptors are especially dense in the abdominal region, which is why chronically high cortisol levels contribute to that visceral fat or belly fat that not only makes our breeches less comfortable, but also has significant negative health implications. So this is going great, right? What else happens as we age? Well, our nervous systems become less effective at recruiting fast-twitch muscle fibers, and those are the ones that matter for power and stability. So think about it. For those of us who enjoy spending time around and astride 1,200-pound prey animals, that's a safety issue. On top of that, our bodies begin losing their ability to use the protein we eat to build muscle. So we have all these things: less efficient use of protein, poorer muscle fiber recruitment, cortisol and insulin now unchecked by estradiol, and muscles that no longer recover and build in the context of our usual physical activity. The result is, and I'm sure that if you're in this over 40 camp, you've noticed, the result is a shift in body composition because we tend to gain fat and lose muscle. Losing muscle means a slower metabolism, which means even more fat gain. And then a lot of us see this and we try to deal with it by slashing calories, but that actually makes things worse in the long run. Anyway, we notice this happening, right? We see it in the mirror, we feel it in how our clothes fit, and we feel it in how capable we are doing everything from hefting feed bags to mounting from the ground. And this one doesn't get talked about enough, but along with all this, many horsewomen experience reduced confidence or even outright anxiety.
Is slick footing and winter weather keeping you out of the saddle? Stay fit to ride while it's cold outside with the Sweaty Equestrian's Slay the Season Winter Fitness Sprint for horsewomen. These 3 workouts are rider-focused and only 15 minutes long, so you can fit them in between gift wrapping and repairing that horse blanket. Again, join for free at thesweatyequestrian.com/winter. It's a holiday gift for you, thesweatyequestrian.com/winter.
So all of this makes it clear that, yes, rider fitness is different as we age. Our bodies and our brains do change. And look, we women can live pretty long. Many of us will live at least half of our lives in this new state of being over 40. So I think it's crazy to just give up and say, well, I'm old now. Guess I'll just have to put up with gaining weight and losing strength. The good news is we don't have to put up with it at all. We just need to change our way of doing things. First off, we have to be more intentional. So now that we're more mature, our rider fitness has to be more intentional as well. We can't rely on the same old barn chores, an occasional hay loading day, and riding to keep us in shape. Even our workouts, if we've been doing some running or cycling or whatever cardio for a few hours a week, aren't going to work like they used to. And what about the Pilates and yoga that do so many good things for riders? Well, they're still good for us. They're really good. It's just that they're no longer enough. Remember, our bodies are changing in ways that increase anabolic resistance. That just means that we can't repair and retain and build muscle as easily as we used to. The old signals aren't loud enough. They don't get through. We have to send a louder signal. So how do we do that? Well, we all have 2 main levers that we can use to send that anabolic, muscle-building, metabolism-boosting, hormone-balancing signal. Here they are. They're how we move and how we eat. Let's start with how we eat. Remember how I said our bodies lose the ability to use dietary protein as effectively as we used to? The essential amino acids that we take in through our diet, especially one called leucine, are supposed to be the building blocks of muscle tissue, and they are. But as we age, we need to consume more of those building blocks because unfortunately, some of them just aren't going to get accessed like they used to. So the older we get, the more we need to focus on eating enough protein to support our body's ability to keep up with our horses. Inside the Sweaty Equestrian membership, I teach riders to shoot for a minimum of 30 grams of protein per meal. That's 90 grams per day, and that's the minimum. More is better. Now, eating more protein is going to help no matter what, but it's going to make a massive difference. And I mean, seriously, a life-changing difference if you eat more protein simultaneously with strength training. And I mean strength training like seriously. Remember, now that estradiol has gone AWOL, we have to override that age-related decline in our neuromuscular signaling. We have to send a stronger anabolic or muscle-building signal in order to get the results that will get our muscle mass and strength and speedy metabolisms back. This means lifting heavy things and using our big muscle groups. A lot of us riders have a bit of a tendency to focus on activating all those little muscles that are important for precise aids and such, and that's a fantastic thing. It's just not going to move the needle on preserving muscle mass and metabolism in our 40s and up. Now it's extra important to do things like squatting with weight and pressing weight overhead and really heavy dumbbell rows for our back muscles. Proper strength training that hits all of our major muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week is a good amount of stimulus for horsewomen over 40. That's going to be just 60 to 90 minutes a week if you do the right exercises. Add that to your meals with at least 30 grams of protein apiece. Now you have a game changer. And for many riders, it's life-changing. So if you're seeing some gaps in your own protocol here, but you aren't sure how to proceed, like how do I eat that much protein without going overboard on calories? And I have no idea how to lift weights. Are you kidding me? I can help you with that. If this is something you want to deal with pretty soon, from January through March, when most of us have a little more time to focus on ourselves because the weather and the footing aren't as horse-friendly as they will be later, we are doing a challenge called Leaner, Stronger Rider. You can join the challenge. It's 12 weeks long, and it includes tons of resources from specific workouts where I coach you through everything, follow along style. And this is the type of workout that you need to get leaner and stronger. There are also nutrition guides, there are audio and video lessons where I take you step by step through the process of getting leaner and stronger ahead of the 2026 riding season. And it's fun because you get to do it with a cohort of fellow riders. So you can join just the 12-week challenge, or you have the option of getting it included for free by becoming a Sweaty Equestrian member. So if you go that route, the membership route, of course, you'll get all the regular membership benefits on top of the challenge itself, and you'll be all set with next steps after the challenge wraps up going into April. You can find out more and join if you want to at thesweatyequestrian.com/fitness, and I'll put that link in the show notes. Anyway, Leaner, Stronger Rider is a cohort thing, so we go through it all together. We start January 5th. So that means if you want in, you need to enroll pretty quick now to claim your seat. Enrollment closes December 31st, and that gives me time to mail you a rider packet and get that into your hands before we start. So again, I'll put the link in the show notes. Anyway, I hope this has helped you see that yes, rider fitness is different after 40, but that doesn't mean giving in to a state of decline. It certainly doesn't mean that you have to go easy on everything from calories to exercise, and it doesn't mean losing your competitive edge or your confidence in the saddle. It just means changing some things, being more deliberate about retaining and building muscle, because muscle is the key to your metabolic health, which is part and parcel of being an age-proof rider. Hey, if you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend. That really helps get the word out. You can also subscribe to my newsletter on the website at thesweatyequestrian.com. Ride safe, ride strong, and I will see you in the next episode.
Want to get more sweaty? Check out the blog at thesweatyequestrian.com, subscribe to the newsletter, and follow The Sweaty Equestrian on Facebook. And remember, you have what it takes to be a full athletic partner for your horse. Saddle up strong.